Could you walk us through the presentation and infographic you made?
So, with my poster board, I first formatted it into slides on Canva just so it could be super neat. I realized quickly that the information I had originally wanted to put was way too dense. So, instead, I just put very simple bullet points because, again, I wanted it to be really simple for people who have little to no knowledge of factory farming to understand it and grab their attention. So, I made sure to add lots of pictures with big headlines, like the first ones, why eggs are so expensive and hard to find, and then like what is bird flu. So on one side it was all about bird flu because I thought that was the biggest public health topic to talk about. And then on the right, it just gave like a quick overview on how factory farming impacts public health besides bird flu, so people can know that it's just beyond eggs as an issue. Because I feel like a lot of people have been learning more about factory farming this year with, bird flu and everything, but it's so much more than that. So I didn't want it to just be about that. Then in the center of my poster, I wanted it to be very big and inviting. And I also added a what can you do because I feel like whenever people read these things, I want to leave them with fear. So I just told them, choose sustainably farmed organic products, support policies that promote responsible farming, reduce meat consumption to lower demand for factory farm products, and then just in bold, your health starts with informed choices. And then I also added my sources, of course, and shouted out Reducitarian and my club that was supporting this. And then I decided if I wanted to leave a lasting impression, I could make these like small infographic bookmarks. So I just wrote like National Public Health Week 2025, and I just wrote how factory farming and public health, and I just gave like the quickest bullet points just as a refresher so they can know and talk about it with friends or family if they'd like. And of course I added what you can you do so they could also share that. And then I added my club and then Reducitarian as well so they could check it out. So yeah, I just wanted to make it a mini version of my poster so people could carry it on with them and it could reach more people.
What are the top three pieces of information from your presentation and tabling event that you would like to share?
Since it was National Public Health Week, I really wanted to focus on what's relevant today because it always changes every year, the information my school shares. So the current big issue right now is bird flu. So I got to talk about why eggs are so expensive and hard to find, which grabbed people's attention. And I just spoke on what bird flu is, how it started, and why factory farming makes it spread so quickly. So I also talked about other big factory farming public health topics. I talked about antibiotic resistance, how 80% of antibiotics are distributed to animals. I also talked about the environmental pollution and health impacts, as well as the health disparities where factory farms are located near low-income communities and communities of color and how that impacts them. And I also, of course, talked about how it impacts workers, both their physical and mental health.